How to tell you gathered your breath from a shard of star, at first gleaming when the dark was all you were, as if born from spell, though you became word, gleaming from truth to build a mountain for you. So wings were flown from which you were strapped to earth, became a seed broken against death, to burgeon in birth. And so you found your value measured in worth, weighed yourself on a scale, but didn't find the tale was more than the law from which you were work. To try to find your sweat in your brow, I found you seed in a pulse, so that you could discover you were not more than broke, you were everything that was growth, spinning itself through the bloom of a song that had turned itself ghost, so you could sing yourself death, alive more than a host. You were all that was breath, but it had become more than the earth, so it could dig itself back up, so you could discover what was worth. When it was stuck in your teeth, when you were trying to sing the bloom, everything that tuned inside of the tomb, which you were becoming back to the womb, so you could understand this full circle was everything that was full, of everything that was emptying itself out, so it could get back to the growth, where you were first to the snow, fire, then water, and everything that flows through the earth when it's going back to the seat of its bones, so you can understand why you have raised up these thrones to try to build all these bombs and these missiles called home, though they are not seeking anything close to the heat that you understand. When you finally understand the reason for speech was to connect you all back together at the distance of separation, so you could understand your matter was as much the grace and the tasting of everything that found itself inside of this faceless meaning basis for something that wanted to come home and just suddenly face it. You were there in your glorious majesty, all acting as if you'd never been this perfect accident happening beyond coincidence, just this perfect miraculous magic thing, dream weaving itself in between the happening of this hope and this haven thing, bringing you back to the home again. When you can understand you've always been the artist inside the darkness, trying to harness the deepest light so you could bring it back to someone who is no longer afraid of the fright of the god and goddess inside of everything that is honest, no longer running from everything that is promised you inside the seed that is blooming you and the flower, assuming it is not everything that is beauty, even in the ugly. Even be it damned inside the flow of its water when it finally understands everything that you are going through is everything that I am, everything that we are, the shining of the shards of the stars who are bearing these scars, so you can understand why you have taken it apart to put it back together in the perfect mixture of art, and having bled through everything that has become your fire spark. Finally, you understand why we go through this flood and build this ark to become the doves of loves of everything that you are. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That was Joshi, the ineffable. And this is Miss Karen's dance floor. This is where we gather to ponder, practice, and play, being authentic, full-hearted, full-send humans. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. So tonight we got a beautiful show, but before we get started with that, as always, I want to make sure that we're all here, right here, wherever you are. So just take a moment, whether you're here in a room or whether you're wherever you are in your house, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and arrive here. Be here now. Yeah. Now, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. So a couple things I have to share with you tonight. Out there, I'm calling you the BHOTs. And that is the beautiful humans out there. Because I'm just looking at a camera, but I know behind that camera, you might be out there sitting in your living room, sitting in your room, wherever, maybe in your car, maybe in a coffee shop somewhere, watching this. And that you're still real to me. So you're the BHOTs. And I would love to hear from you. I'd love for you to be, if you're here live, you get to be a part of this conversation. So there's somebody watching the live stream, and they will be able to gather your comments and questions and your contributions. So if I ask a question, please jump in, add your thoughts, add your wisdom, add your ideas to this. This is the idea that we're doing this together, all of this. So that's that. I hope to hear from you. And the next up, I have a real special treat for you. When I kind of jumped into my life here, I'm calling this maybe my fourth life, fourth change of life. I got so lucky to be introduced to some of the most absolutely amazing young human musicians, and that have taught me so much. Group, you're gonna love it. It's Flying Caravan, so enjoy. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, it's such a delight. And you know, this is Azzy, and Azzy is the band leader. And Azzy is one of the fiercest female, or just human, fiercest warriors of love and authenticity that I know. And I have been just love watching you evolve. Yeah.
It's been an honor to be growing with you and evolving in all the ways together.
Together. That's how we do that, right? That's how we do that, together. I want to talk about division. I've done some moving recently, and so I've been doing a lot of going through like old writings, old stuff, and things pop up. And this piece popped up where I was talking about that there, you know, the idea that we draw a line in the sand, right? That there's like, you got to draw a line in the sand, and you're not going to go, you know, like, what side are you on? But that line always carries seeds of division, because it's basically saying that there is like the sides to be had. And so this is a time that I think is pretty important for us to come together. Like, not just say that, but do it. Like, really, really come together. Stop the division. And where we stop it, like each one of us, that's the only way the only way we can do that is each one of us makes the choice to say, we're all equal, we're all human, we all wake up every day, eat, sleep, poop, just do this, right? We're all doing the same thing. There isn't anything that separates us other than how we show up in the world. So the thought that I want to ask you, I want you to ponder on, is where is there division in your life, like in your heart? Because when you can start to unravel that, and we can each do that, that's how we start to come together. I grew up in small town Oregon. I'd never been to a Chinese restaurant until I was in college. What are some other like some crazy things? Like literally, I didn't even like know there wasn't, not that I didn't know there wasn't anything but white people, but that was the only experience I had, was white people. And I also was probably, I would call it came from an upper middle class family. An upper middle class Catholic family, to put that more precisely. And I grew up believing that the people that lived in trailers or mobile homes were less than, were inferior, were not as good as I was. People that didn't didn't live in nice houses, that didn't have fancy jobs, that those people weren't as good as me. And I think that's probably been the hardest thing for me to reconcile in my own being, is that little girl, that teenager, that young adult who really believed that, who lived with that as my undercurrent of emotion, of love. And so I've had to really come to do a lot of work to kind of get to that point. It's like, there is nothing that separates us. Nothing. If you look at little babies, there is just nothing that makes us different, that makes us better than anyone else. We might show up differently, and that's a whole other story. But at the heart, so I'm just going to leave you with that little bit, is to just, if you can own it, then you can start to unravel it. If you can own where you see someone not as yourself, where there might be judgment, there might be division, We have so many labels. It's like crazy the amount of labels that people have put on things. Like liberals, Democrats, Republicans, right-wing, Marxist, socialist, capitalist, patriot, you know, like this is just like on and on and on. But you know what, at the heart of it is just us being human. One of us, each one of us. And we all have the choice. We all get to choose what we believe, how we show up. I'm gonna talk, one of the things that I believe in is this sense of alignment, of that I believe that I was created as this beautiful masterpiece. I don't have to, my goal is to be that fully, 100%, to be what I was created to be. And I look at that as sort of like the alignment. If I were actually in full alignment of self, it would be being all that I could be as I was designed. So if I'm out of alignment, it means I'm acting out of how I was designed, out of alignment, is what is this idea. And I truly believe that a sign that a person is out of alignment is when they cannot recognize that their own beliefs, values, or journeys are not universally true. That if you can't understand that because you believe maybe that brown people are inferior, that is not universal truth. That is your belief. And your inability to understand that somebody else might hold something different, I believe, is out of alignment with our core self, which is love. The last thing that sort of fits into this is kind of like a little soup of thoughts that in my world they kind of all run together and they might not make sense in this moment. But the third one is this idea of community. And we talk a lot about community and how important community is. And I mean, we are humans on an individual journey, but boy, do we need each other. Oh my gosh, do we need each other so badly. Even like I'm an introvert and a bit of a hermit, but I need people, right? I need community. We all need community. But I want to pose the idea that community is truly, like right now, my community is this room, the humans in this room. If you're at the grocery store, you're in community with people at the grocery store. When you're at work, you're in community with the people at your work. When you are if you live in an apartment building, you are in community with everyone in that apartment building. And you will recognize that if something bad happened, like an earthquake, and it all came crashing down, and you realized that the only people that you are surrounded with are the people that you're surrounded by. And you don't get to always choose that. So this ability to be in community with people that you might not agree with, that you might not even like, is a really important human skill. To be able to show up as yourself authentically with love and recognize that although I don't agree with you or like you, I still love you and you are still as valuable as I am. So, there's all that. So I'm going to leave you with some art, because art is really, really, really important. And art helps us so much process life. And today's featured artist, I'm really excited for you you're going to meet him just now, right after when I get done talking here. His name is Moksha Marquardt. And I'm going to, at the end of this show, give away this set, not this set, because this is my set, and I'm not giving you that. I'm giving away a set of his cards, because I really want someone to have them. This card here, I've had on my wall for a long time. it speaks to me. And it says, "The time is now." And this is one of his pieces. So in this 5 minutes, enjoy the beautiful Moksha.
My name is Moksha Marquardt. Welcome to my studio. This is a small sampling of all my work. If you think this is a lot, you should see my storage. So today I'm going to spin a painting, and on the theme of showing up, some days I come in and I don't really feel like painting a big new blank canvas painting, and you see a lot of painters kind of standing back, and they're like doing this a lot, and that's called contemplating. And painting go on forever and ever, and you may find it very hard to start your painting. And some artists having anxiety about your work is a real thing, and so there's a remedy to that. And it's called getting crazy. So, what you do is to not stand back and have fear, but to just go for it. And as a favorite artist said, Picasso, inspiration will find you. So you just start here. You don't know what you're painting. Maybe you do. I certainly don't. But as soon as you get the wheels turning, and the creative juices start flowing, that's when inspiration happens. And you could use your hands. You could use brushes like some people do. But pretty much anything goes. This is a common. Look at that. We're getting crazy in here. But yeah, look at that. It's already art. What's it mean? I don't know. One of my favorite art teachers in art school had a favorite saying. He said, people come up to me all the time and they say, "Bill, what does an elephant look like?" And Bill is like, "Bill, I don't know. What does look like? An elephant, it looks like anything you want it to look like. There's no rules. You get to decide what it looks like." So let's take the first layer, and then I'll stand back and I'll kind of emotionally attach what I see. Somebody told me once, they said, if you don't see faces in something like this, you're not doing it right. There's a thing that we do where we see faces, we see shapes, we see crazy creatures and things. And I'll start to do that, and maybe pick a different color. And just start that color, different color. You just start pulling things out. texture squeegee things that are fun. You can like, you've already laid the paint down, you can draw into it.
One day we all will rise, leaving this weight behind.
So this phase go on for a while where you're just playing and you don't know what I don't know, maybe some artists know at the end. Usually I have zero idea what I'm doing. Way later, when I'll be sitting back looking at it, I'm like, huh. But like I said, thinking about it too hard, you just get stuck. You become frustrated. It's very still way around. Am I like clipping it or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Swiftly, all consuming, I ignite with a spark after resting. Process with a pause. Swiftly, all consuming, I ignite with a spark after resting. Process with a pause.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to the Meadow. And if this is your first time watching Miss Karen's dance floor, the Meadow is the place where we become fireflies, light on wings of love. And it's this whole thing that I sort of created in my life to help me shine and love as bright as I could. And when I was talking about things that I found, I wanted to share this with you. This is something that I wrote, that I did. I call them my Sharpie sessions. I have Sharpies and I just have paper and then I just go. And it's sort of my own personal journaling / art. And this was written during the pandemic. And it says, it is time for fireflies. It is time for fireflies. Calling all humans to rise into their truth, their light, with love for themselves, all others, and this beautiful planet. There will not be a line in the sand, for within the line is the seeds of division. Instead, let there be a choosing, a collective sigh of, yes, I am here. I am ready to be all that I am meant to be, to shine bright and shower the earth, this living dance with my gifts, to accept that everyone is equal and that we leave nobody behind. Let us build a foundation of love upon which we reimagine a life of peace and harmony. The firefly life. Last week it was stand in your truth, be who you are. The next step is showing up. In fact, that might just be the first step, but I kind of think that authenticity piece is pretty important. But showing up is also equally important, because if you're not showing up, well, you're not showing up. So nothing can happen if you're not showing up, right? And showing up is a 24/7 thing. Showing up is mind, body, spirit, showing up. Like not just physically being there, but being wherever you are fully. Showing up for yourself. Showing up for others, showing up for the earth. Moment by moment choices. Like really, like if you live moment by moment, A day is a long, long time. There's a lot of juice in the day if you get juice out of every moment. And you get that by showing up fully to every moment that you can. I want to say that I believe that the reward of showing up isn't the outcome of whatever it is you're doing. If you're showing up, it's not the outcome that is your reward for showing up. It's actually the showing up that is your reward, that helps you. I think that's where we plant the seeds of joy, is when we show up fully to every moment. And that means the moment might not turn out so nicely, but that you are still gonna feel good because you showed up, because that's what it's about. It's about being your authentic, full-hearted self, full send, showing up every minute. Whatever happens, just happens. It doesn't really, that doesn't really matter. It's what's happening in here. How does it feel? How does it feel in your body? I say a lot on the mountain. I work on a mountain. And so this whole idea of a powder day, which it's powder day time. Now tomorrow's going to be a powder day. A powder day is supposedly the day where everybody's like, yee-haw! Yee-hoo! But guess what? There will be people tomorrow on powder day that are not having a good time. Because I believe that the joy that you get from those experiences, you actually plant the seeds of those when it's raining outside and it's shitty and you're out there and you're doing it and you're still enjoying it. And you are still having a good time even when it's not perfect. Those are seeds of joy. And if you can do that, then when the good stuff comes, oh man, you're like living, like that's where you get that absolute like, yeah, this is life. Let's do that. The last thing about showing up is the whole idea of intention. And if you're not showing up with intention, it's a bit like being on autopilot, that you're just there. And so you're really not fully there when you're on that autopilot. So have intention of, you get to choose how you show up to every moment. Choose it. Choose it. If you want to show up tired and you choose that, do it. If that's what your body's saying and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna be that today, I'm gonna be tired. Okay, that's your choice. That's showing up. All right. So, that's a little bit. If you want to think about that, little pondering while we take another little 5-minute break. You're going to get some more music, some art. You get to choose. So why don't you make it a practice and you say, I got 5 minutes. I get 5 minutes to show up. Choose how I show up. What does it look like? There we go. Have fun. I'll see you in a few.
grass under my feet, and branches reach out to me. I feel the earth with my wings, the grass and branches dancing in the breeze. Ooh, with the wind, I'm passing through. Ooh, with the wind, I'm moving on through. Ooh, with the wind, I'm making moves. Ooh, with the wind, oh, take me where I'm meant to be going. Oh, take me where I'm meant to be going. All of these in the good life, tinkering, cycling, and spiraling. All of these in the good life, tinkering, cycling, and spiraling. Oh, all of these currents. All these currents. Oh, take me where I'm meant to be going.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. It's time for some canvas cooking. What is canvas cooking? Canvas cooking is a way to cook more and to do it creatively and to help you with using what you have instead of going out and getting like what you might quote need is what you have, and then you're like, what am I going to make with this? So it's about having a stocked pantry and having what I call these canvases, which are like the inspiration for, oh, what am I going to have? Oh, well, I have this leftover old loaf of bread, or I've got a few extra bagels, or I've got some kind of bread. That is the canvas. That is the base, the canvas for what is what I call strata or bread pudding. And basically, it's kind of the same thing. It's just strata is typically savory, and bread pudding is typically sweet. But it's pretty much the same. It's the same process. It's basically some kind of bread, a custard, and other stuff. So that makes it super simple, right? It's like and it doesn't have to be a lot of other stuff, as you'll see. So I made a bread pudding so that you could see. And I made this bread pudding with croissants. So as the bread, there is these croissants, and then I just put apples and croissants, and in the custard I did cinnamon, and I can't remember what else. I think Alex was in the kitchen when I made that. What else did I put in there in the custard? Cinnamon, basically just like a sweet little bits in there. I would probably serve this with a little whipped cream or whatever, but pretty simple. Now you could also make that like that same thing. These were cheese croissants. You could put like Swiss cheese in with the apple and maybe ham. Go to town, right? All right, so here's the deal. So you've got bread. So in this case, this is leftover garlic bread. Like maybe you had spaghetti and you got 1/2 little loaf of garlic bread and it's now like not really very good to eat, like as a piece. Cut it all up, got that, all right? And instead of doing it, normally you would do a strata or a bread pudding in something like this, like a baking dish. But because I'm not like most people, and at one point I did a lot of these, it's a silicone product. It's actually a pastry chef sort of best thing. I love these things. And so I'm going to make them in individuals. And so what I'm going to do, so again, if you had this, it's just the same thing. So you would put some of your bread in there at the bottom. And then you're going to put your toppings in there. I'm just doing a couple for right now. And so I have, what do we have? We have a lot of this like olive mix. It's kind of like a tapenade. I love it. And so, and it's really, really savory. It's got a lot of flavor. So I'm just going to scoop a big old scoop in there. And cheese is typically something that you'll put in like a strata. The most, I'm going to call it the most famous strata of all, maybe it happens in your house. For Christmas Day, you might have an egg bake for Christmas Day because your mom could always put it in the refrigerator the night before and just pull it out in the morning and have, voila, breakfast. We always had egg bake on Christmas. And it had sausage in it and cheese and diced green chilies. What else? I think that was pretty much. One time, my sister-in-law made it with diced jalapenos instead of diced green chilies, and it was so spicy. And we learned that we didn't really like it that way. And it was not on purpose. But anyway, so I've got some goat cheese. And it's funny because I'm questioning my choices right now because I decided not to take this out of the package because that's one of the things that I feel about like something like a cooking show. And then somebody's got all these things and they're all prepped and all whatever, and it's just, they make it look so easy. It's like, and da 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 da, and da 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 da, and here you got this. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes the like seeing people like mess with the thing makes you feel like, okay, I'm not the only one. That, yeah, okay. But now, anyway. So with goat cheese, I like to use forks a lot, and just because it's easy to kind of like separate it, get it out of this thing, put some goat cheese in there. Put some goat cheese in there. Or leave the goat cheese out. That's the beauty about doing something like this in individual things, is because you could make them different. You could add meat to ones if you have people, you know, if that's a thing where you've got meat and not meat. And that way you can have it, everybody gets what they want. All right, so the biggest thing is then we're going to put a little bit of bread on the top, squish it down, and pour a custard on the top of it. And a custard is eggs and milk, we'll say, or could be cream, could be half and half, could be coconut milk, could be, actually this one I made with coconut milk because I had it left over from the dinner I was making. So that, it could be 2% milk, it could be whole milk, it could be almond milk, it could be, you see what I mean? It's this whole idea of it looks like what you have, what you work with. So eggs and milk. So in a ratio of like 4 eggs, 2 cups of milk. The difference is going to be eggy or like fluffy. So the more milk, the more you get in that like fluffiness, but you got to have some eggs to balance it. But the more eggs, you get that rich, like typically a bread pudding is going to have a little more on the egg side than, and maybe heavy cream or half and half, right? Because it's sweet. In this, so egg, this is my little tip of the day, that if you didn't know, when you crack an egg, the best place is not on the edge of your whatever it's called. It is on a flat surface. Flat with an egg is the best thing. So you got flat surface, egg, da-da-da. And actually, what I usually would do, I would never do what I just did. I would always do the egg into a little bowl, because if something was not so good, or the shell, it's not all in your liquid. We'll just whisk that up just a little bit. And then the idea is you're just going to pour it over the top and then let it sit for up to 24 hours. But an hour is a good amount of time, but it's not necessarily, doesn't have to be. So you just kind of want to get the bread wet. And here's the thing. This one, I know you can't tell and you can't see it, but texturally, like, I didn't let that soak at all. As it soaks, the bread absorbs, the longer it soaks, the longer the bread has a chance to absorb the moisture and kind of go away. So you can't tell, like, oh, this is bread I'm eating. It just becomes like texture, fluffy. And whereas like with a bread pudding, sometimes it's chunkier and you can actually, you're eating a piece of bread. All right, so there you go, canvas cooking. I would love for you to let me know if you have any ideas. Again, it's just what you have and what you like, and make a yummy yummy casserole, strata. All right, we're gonna take another little break. Let me check with the B-Hots if there's anything on cooking. All right, no questions? All right, we'll move on, give you another little break, and I'll see you back here in a few.
What's real was just a shadow. So real, it's a real way. It's my shadow, 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 shadow. What's real was just a shadow. So real, it's a real way. It's my shadow, 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 shadow. What's real, what's a real? What's real, what's a real? What's just a shadow? So real, it's a real. So real, it's a real. Where's my shadow, shadow, shadow?
Thank you. All right, welcome back. Next, we're going to talk about driving. Why are we going to talk about driving? Well, because I think that when we drive, it is a great opportunity to practice. Practice the things that you think about other people, how you treat other people. It's funny because since I've made the choice to do this for this segment, for this series, is to talk about driving, because we spend a lot of time driving. I don't know about you, but I do. And it's really been amazing, the things that have been happening on the road that are just been like, oh my heaven, is this for real? But those, those examples of either in myself where I get irritated, or, how I see other people showing up on the road. So it's really a powerful way to practice being a good human, is in the quiet of your car. But today we want to talk in particular about winter driving. And because, well, it's winter, and we live here in Portland, we live near a mountain. And so a lot of people drive on a mountain in the winter. And I want to talk about it because it makes a difference. I want to be a helpful thing for people. So here's the first thing. The first thing about winter driving is, and anything that I'm going to share is only the things that I know to be true. First thing I know to be true is that wherever you are, it's different. That snow is not the same everywhere. Snow is not the same everywhere. Roads are not the same. How we care for the roads are not the same. Salt on the roads is different than cinder on the roads, which is different than nothing on the roads, which it's, so wherever you are is like, you could live in Iowa and drive in the winter and drive in winter all the time, and driving on Mount Hood would be a completely different experience for you, in which might not be at all like it. So that's the first thing. The two things that are the most important are tires and power. Those are the things that affect your driving. The tires affect your traction. So when it says, like when the signs say on the mountain that you need traction tires or chains, chains are something you put on your tires to give you traction. Winter tires or traction tires are actually special tires that are like designed to give you extra traction. I have studded, which is like these little studs in the tire, which aren't great for roads if you're not in the winter. So like this winter I've been like, we haven't had any snow and I've got these studded tires on. But they're really, it's really helpful in the snow to have that traction. The second thing is, and so the worst thing you can do is drive on snow and ice on bald tires that don't have any traction. It's the worst thing you can do. The second thing is power, and that all comes from your car. So cars can be all-wheel drive, which means power is distributed to all four tires. All four tires are actively working to power the vehicle. Front-wheel drive means the front tires are powering the vehicles. Rear-wheel drive means the rear wheels are powering the tires. Four-wheel drive is like all-wheel drive, but like up a notch. Like I don't know what the difference is there, but that all makes a difference. That all makes a difference. What kind of car, what kind of driving it is. Braking. When you're in winter, you want to not brake as much as possible, because the minute you set your brakes, that affects your traction on the snow ice. So one thing that I noticed coming down the mountain is this, like people follow really close to each other. And then the car in front of you has to slow down, and guess what? You have to slow down, and you don't really have any choice but to put on your brakes to slow down. But the last thing you want to do when you're going down is to put on your brakes. You want to slow down in a nice and gentle manner. So keeping distance to the car in front of you, I like do everything in my power to not have to put on the brakes. And sometimes that means if you're going down the hill is putting it in low, because then the car is actually doing it for you. It can't go faster. It's got that, and you're not constantly hitting the brakes. So distance between drivers. Speed. Speed is like a two thing. The faster you're going, the faster things are the more things are gonna happen. When you hit something and you start to spin, the more you're gonna spin. The whole thing is gonna be amplified. But also, if you're doing a climb and you need to get up something, if you're going too slow, it's going to work against you. You need to have enough speed to have that, maintain that power, so your car isn't having to work so hard to get traction to make it up the hill. You get some momentum, you get some speed. There's nothing worse than going up a hill and like you're like going, it's like, okay, we got this, and then there's somebody right in front of you that stops. And then once you stop, like trying to start on a snowy, icy hill is pretty hard. So speed it helps you and it also hurts you. There's this like it's a good balance. And the last thing that I'm going to say, The only thing I know. Because I'm not going to tell you anything about how to get yourself out of a spin, how to do a spin, because I'm not really very good at it. And my van is squirrely, even with snow tires, and I've had some of the most, so I'm not going to give any advice there. I'm not going to share any wisdom because I don't have it. But the wisdom I am going to share with you, which I think is the most important, is do your drive. Pay attention, 100%. Pay attention to everything. How fast the cars are coming at you, how fast the cars are going behind you, what people are doing around you, everything. You are absolutely aware, and you are driving your drive. If people are going 60 and you only feel comfortable going 45, go 45. But on those uphills, have enough power to get up. There you go. All right. Do we have any collective wisdom from the room or from the BHOTs about winter driving? Anybody got any collective wisdom that they know? What's that? Don't drive in the winter? All right, no collective wisdom. Well, that's okay. If that comes some, I'll share it with you in another way. But keep thinking about when you get behind the wheel. Think about it. Think about the stories you're telling about the people around you. Think about the beautiful humans. All right. I'm going to give away this beautiful deck of cards to the first person on the live stream that can tell me what the theme of today's show is. And I'm going to give you a little time while I wrap things up. And I just want to share with you, when I shared this deck of cards that was mine and I shared this picture right here, I just went over to Moksha's studio to grab this deck. And this card is the card in the spot, like up front and center. And I said, oh, that's sweet, you put that up there. And he said, actually, I changed the card and I just felt like that card just came to me that I needed to put that card up. And then you started talking and I heard you say that this was the card. So don't say we're not connected. That's amazing. That's how it works. That's how it works. We are all connected, all of us, all the time. So I would like to thank everyone. Thank you for spending time with me tonight here. Your time is very important and valuable. Thank you to our wordsmith tonight, Joshi the Ineffable. Thank you to our artist, Moksha. Thank you to our fabulous, fabulous musicians, Flying Caravan. This beautiful crew of people gathered here together to make this happen. Thank you all. Thank you all. I can't see that. Yeah, yay. Sheba, yay! Thank you, Sheba. All right, that goes out to Sheba. I hope to see you again next week. I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. And that is, would you do anything different? Would we do anything different if we actually believed that this was the promised land? And that the only way that this really could be the promised land if every single human, or let's just say 90% of humans, because some people just get all tripped up on that, well, we can't all do it, so let's not try. Okay, so let's just say 90% of humans were shining bright. Like, if that was the thing that caused all of this to be everything that we wanted it to be, wouldn't we do everything in our power to make sure that every single person was healthy and whole and shining bright? I love you. You are a beautiful masterpiece. Go be that. Happy day. Happy day. Happy day. Ha ha ha.